All right, so it's another episode of Don Talk Podcast. I'm AK the Don. I'm here with Eva.
Woo!
Eva is a super dope person. I can't remember how we met, but I know she can sing. But I won't say too much. If you can, go ahead, introduce yourself, little background and all that.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much, AK, for having me. First of all, this is really awesome, and you supported me so much. So, I really, really appreciate this, and just being able to be here for your passions too. Hello, my name's Eva Davenport. I am a local, mostly around Boston, but I say New England artist. And most of my music is like soul, R&B, a little bit of early, like newer trap influences, but like older soul definitely as well. So that's about me. Yeah.
Word. So how long would you say you've been singing or making music?
I have been singing, my parents will say, since I was born.
Mm-hmm.
So that's special to me. And then I started taking voice lessons when I was 8, like classical voice lessons, and did that all up through college. Went to Berkeley for a few years and started singing with professional cover bands, wedding bands, business bands around Boston. And that led me to start my own band with a group. Everybody was equally working together in that group, and we kind of broke it off after a little under a year, and that was when I got my foot into booking. Mm-hmm. So I just kept on booking for myself as a solo artist, and performed out a lot. Finally got into the studio and recorded stuff after performing out, and people starting to understand and like remember my lyrics and remember some of the songs. So I kind of did it in a different way than I feel like a lot of artists normally do, where they drop music and then we'll go out and perform.
Right, yeah.
So,
definitely different, but like, it's always, it's unique. I won't say different, unique.
Yeah, everyone's path is different.
Exactly,
and unique.
So what got you into singing, or like music as a whole? Like what, if anything, like or someone that kind of got you into it?
Well, my mother is a singer. Mm-hmm. She sang pregnant with me, so I just know, the rhythm, everything was flowing through me.
You was feeling it
as I was, being created. So I feel like that was really the beginning of it all. Mm-hmm. And as a young kid, I just remember, as a baby and a little kid, I just remember loving music and just always wanting to sing and make others sing. My parents will tell funny stories about me as a kid, like singing different theme songs, my favorite shows, and being on the train and like making strangers sing along with me. So, I just always gravitated towards the music.
Nice. Yeah, it's definitely like, I feel like parents can be like some of the biggest influences, like in terms of like kids becoming attached to music and stuff like that. So because I know, like, even growing up, like my dad used to play music all the time, and I, like, granted, I hated it just because it was music I didn't understand yet. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it was like, it was all the music that he knew growing up, but I was just listening to different stuff. Now I appreciate it. Like, anytime I hear him play music, I'm singing along, like, upstairs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So sometimes. Like it's definitely dope.
Yeah. My dad played a lot of great music too.
Yeah. So like R&B's and like stuff like that.
Yeah, R&B. So my mama played a lot of reggae. She loved reggae. She sang backup in reggae bands, actually.
Oh, okay then.
And what else? Soul, R&B, the popular music at the time, they liked a lot too. My dad liked more like Stevie Nicks kind of soul.
Okay.
It was cool. So foundation.
It's good to have like a variety too of like music, like not just kind of be stuck in one like in one pathway.
Yeah.
Like,
there's so much.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy.
So what inspires you to like come up with content or like music?
Well, I am constantly so one thing I didn't mention about myself is I'm an event curator. It's new to me, so it's a new thing to like add to the title. But I really, really love it. And I started curating events. I started with a showcase called Arts Underground.
Yes.
And that was created in June of 2019. And we had like 4 successful events a month, one every month. And so I've started booking now for the Jungle in Somerville. Nice. So I do that every week. I book 2 events every week. And that's been really awesome to be able to, I book free events. So I'm able to open up the community and, different artists, different creatives to the possibility of putting on their own event without having to pay for a space. So that's been really exciting. And I get to, learn a lot through the community and the people that I'm working with. That's definitely where I derive most of my inspiration is, from sitting and having like brainstorming sessions as well and going inwards, but also from going out to different events, like I've been to an event every night this week, which is not typical. I take time off a good amount and also work a day job. But going to those events and supporting other artists, you also get to, experience so much for yourself. You get to see different performances. A lot of these events are multiple performers, multiple artists, or even multiple different art facets, like visual performers, dancers, fashion, they include a lot of things. So it's just like so eye-opening to like walk into an event and see somebody on stage like performing their original music, doing their own thing, and you get inspired from that as an artist. And then like seeing visual art, you get inspired from that. Like there's just nothing better than going out to something and being surrounded by like amazing people who are doing what they love. So that's definitely the most inspiring thing to me is like going out to events.
I love that because I love going out too, to those events. I think it was over the summer. I can't even remember how many events I went to, but it was just I was just going out. It was like well you know Kaya. So like anytime like I'd see something, I send it to her, be like, we're going to this. You know what I mean? Like we're just always going out to stuff, just always finding like something else to do, and then like discovering a new artist each time, which I think is super dope. And so at the Jungle, so you book events for like other artists or like just events in general, and then like invite the artists and all that stuff?
So it depends. Every once in a while I will take on the reins and put the entire event together myself. But basically the position I'm in right now is finding somebody to put on an event. So so I have 2 days every week, and one of them is always dedicated to Wednesdays is always dedicated to open mics. So we've been doing different types of situations with the open mics, like different kinds of events, different hosts, different themes. We did like a DJ themed open mic. We're doing like poetry themed ones coming up in April, because April's National Poetry Month.
Did not know that.
So yeah, so we're just trying to like open up the community to new opportunities, a new place to perform, and money-making opportunities as well. We do put on free events for the community, but we also are, interested in artists or creators who have ideas for events that can make money and
Mhm.
you know, that are worth a certain number, and people will be happy coming out and paying to support.
Yeah.
So we're able to do that too, and it's just really cool to be able to help people like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's basically, you know, I'll reach out to somebody or they'll reach out to me, and they will plan the entire event themselves.
Okay.
And yeah, they keep the revenue from it, and everything's cool.
Word. Okay. Yeah, because I saw the, I think it was the open mic one, like the flyer for that. I gotta go to these because like I tried to go to the New Year's one.
That one was really fun.
Yeah, but I was at work that night, so like when
Okay.
when I got off, I was like, all right, like I'll just get over there and stuff. And by the time I got there, it was shut down, so I was very sad.
Oh, thank you so
but,
much for coming
yeah,
out, man. For real,
I really
that
wanted
means
to
a
be
lot.
there. But yeah, like I love kind of going to these events and just kind of being present because it's different. It gets me out of my house, which I definitely need because I'm like if I have the ability to be in my house, I will. Yeah, you know, but like I'm trying to go out more and just experience events and more things, and especially like with this being comfortable being out with people and networking and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's a beast in itself, literally, like being able to like have the confidence to like go out by yourself to something, or like, you know, go talk to somebody, like go network with them. Like, yeah, I totally agree with you.
It was
a little work.
Yeah, it was Hello Black. That's why I went, and that was the first time I went out, and I was like, I was just so nervous because I was like, holy crap,
Yeah,
there's
everybody.
so many people here.
Yeah.
And like these people are all great. You know what I mean? So like I was talking to my friend about it, and I was telling him, I was like, I felt like I didn't even belong there. I was literally sitting there like, what am I even doing here? You know what I mean? Like just nervous. But yeah, that was a dope event. Shout out to all those ladies and everyone who do the event.
Yeah. No, you definitely did belong.
Yeah,
you definitely do.
It's yeah.
It was so dope. But I totally understand what you mean. Like I felt extremely overwhelmed too, and you know, Red Shades asked me to perform with her, and I was just gonna get my ticket and go and be in the audience and be, you know, as happy as a clam. But like then she asked me to perform with her, and I'm like, wow, okay, you know, it's just like dreams, no big deal. Like I'm in the back like having a nervous breakdown. It's fine. I'm just really excited. So yeah, no, I totally get where you're coming from. It's really amazing to be like surrounded by greatness. And just, you know, this scene right now, like the Boston music scene, it just, I mean, I feel like I've only been here for 2 to 3 years now, you know, knowing about the other artists and really supporting and like here in this scene, and it just feels like it's flourishing. Yeah, just feels like everybody's supporting each other, making it a precedent to do that. And it's powerful, you know, it's powerful to know about each other and feel really proud to support one another. Like I feel proud when I'm like repping somebody's t-shirt or their hat. You know, it feels really good. Like, or going to their event and posting about it online, and everything looks dope and everything's going so well. And it just like, it makes me feel so proud. So I'm glad. I feel like everybody's really feeling proud of each other. So that makes a lot of good things happen.
That's really how it should be. Like for real. So how do you deal with setbacks in terms of your creative process?
That's a good question. Thank you. Well, I feel like I'm in one currently. and I guess I can say the things that I'm doing now, to kind of get myself out of that. Actually, get myself out of that, not kind of. I am saying no to things, going to things or being a part of things. Just like kind of picking and choosing, being a little bit more strategic with what I plan on my schedule. I feel like last year, definitely the summer specifically, was so busy. So many gigs, and I actually tallied up my gigs from last year. It's a little bit confusing because I perform with cover bands too. So not all of my gigs are like for my original music,
right?
But I did 120 gigs last year total, and 60 of them at least were for my original music. Oof. So it was pretty fun to count all that up and look at the real number.
Right.
And we just see wow, 60 shows from my original music last year. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's a lot.
It was, yeah. It felt really, really cool. So, not that I want to do any less. I love performing. I always want to be performing.
Right.
But just saying no to things, it's not just the show, you know what I mean? When you say yes to a performance, it's not just the day of the show that you're saying yes to. You're saying yes to the preparation for it. You depending on how much it's paying you, you're gonna have to get some artists, get a band together, or get a DJ to play your music, or get some dancers, or whatever kind of set you're trying to put together. I do different dynamic types of situations, so I could be doing anything from just myself on stage to myself with a full band and dancers on stage.
Yeah.
So it really depends on what the dollar is, for the show. So there's all this preparation leading up to it, and you also, as an artist, have to leave time to be creative. If you're always saying yes to shows, then you'll always just be preparing for shows, and where does that leave time to write new material, So I'm kind of working on that, being able to balance my time better between loving performing and wanting to do it so much, and making sure I have that time to continue being creative, because I love that too, but it just gets lost.
Right.
It just gets lost because it's that downtime where you create, when you're chilling in your room by yourself, and all of a sudden inspiration strikes, or even inspiration striking when you're walking down the street or something. I feel I get most of my inspiration because I drive a lot, because I live pretty far. So in my car, I'll just put on my voice memos and record for an hour while I'm driving and say all my ideas.
That's perfect. That's kind of, it's definitely best to get everything, all your ideas out, when they, as soon as they pop up, try to get them either on paper or record them so you don't lose them, because that creative, it can go just like that, you know what I mean? But I definitely agree in terms of being able to say no, because that time, not time for it's kind of time for yourself, but it's time to kind of, time to be creative. You have to sorry, you have to take that step back and just kind of say, okay, it's fun doing all these performances and all these shows and stuff, but I want to try something new, be able to go out with new content, because after a while, if you do 30 shows and it's all the same songs, it might not be the same as if you did 15 shows with some of that music, and then your next 15 shows you could incorporate your newer music and stuff. It's definitely important to kind of have that balance.
Definitely.
So damn, there was somewhere else I was gonna go with that. But I'll move on. It'll come back.
I can go off that for a second, actually. that's been a reason why I have been releasing, or actually like performing unreleased material so much, because I love my songs from my Letters to Self EP. And I love my single Bang Bang, and you know, that's the music that I have released right now. That's 6 songs. But I can't just be performing 6 songs. Like, I'll get so bored. Like, I just love switching it up, you know. So I'm always throwing in like a new cover into a set, or the newer songs that I write. So pretty much all the songs that I've written that are in a line ready to be, you know, recorded, I'm performing them all already, and it's great. I really like doing that. So yeah.
I think Bang Bang was the first song I heard by you, and I was like, holy crap, who is this girl? and then I think that one was out for a while, and then I went to Arts Underground, and that was the first time. I think that was the first time I saw you perform. That was a dope event, by the way. I really like those, and I'll ask you about that a little later. But yeah, like I love those. Like, that whole event was just dope. Just kind of going there, and then again, like we mentioned earlier, like seeing like new artists and stuff, just kind of being put onto new people every single time. So that was definitely a dope experience that I really appreciate that you did.
So glad. I think it was just a beautiful experience. Honestly, great vibes.
Do you have a favorite part of the process? Like, when you're either if it's coming up with the content, writing the music, recording, or like when you finally put it out, something like that, you know what I mean?
That's a good question. I think my favorite part's probably coming up with it. Because it's super fun to come up with it. The like process of doing it, even though I love it still, is intensive. Yeah. You know, the process of doing it requires the work ethic and the effort to like really like make sure that everything's perfect, and not necessarily perfect, but I don't know, I'm a Virgo, so shout out to my Virgos out there. So, you know, we're perfectionists. So the process of doing it sometimes is draining, but the creating process, the process of like coming up with the idea and like first writing it down on paper, that's my favorite. That's my favorite, because then I'm like in my zone, you know? Yeah. Like, anything's possible here in this world. Let's write it down. And then you have to bring it to the real world and be like, okay, now let's make it happen. You know what I mean? So yeah, the process of creating. Okay.
And then I think you mentioned it just slightly, but why do you make music? Like, why do you do what you do?
Well, making music is my purpose. I make music because I absolutely love music, and I love singing, and I love connecting with people that way. But mainly, a really important reason too is because I get so much power and understanding. Like, I feel like this like different kind of connection with the universe when I can feel that somebody is like inspired to do their own thing through, you know, my performance or like something that I've written. Those are always like the most amazing moments, like when people will walk up to me and let me know that like something that I wrote or like the way that I performed like brought tears to their eyes or made them think about something that they're going through or help them through something. So that was why I released Letters to Self as my first project. Why I released Bang Bang as my first project, because that was the song that everybody always just connected with and spoke to me about. And with Letters to Self, it was just, I just really wanted to let people know that my reason for making music was to inspire and motivate. So I kind of put all those songs into like their own little EP and put that out there. So to get those responses from people is really, really everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the reason. I just love it.
Word. Do you have an end goal with that? Like, is there an end goal, like with the music or like with singing?
What exactly do you mean by angle?
So like, end goal.
An end goal.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. That's it. An end goal, yes. Well, like ultimately, I want to be healing through music. I'm working on learning more myself as just a human being in this world. I want to learn about different religions and different practices of health and self-care, and just learn ways to, better connect through my music and really heal through my music. Indie is one of my biggest lyrical and musical role models. So, I just love the way that she heals through music. So I want to do that as well. So that's one of my biggest end goals, is to really heal and connect in a positive, loving way, and just bring people together. I want to work with more nonprofits and eventually have one myself. And continue. I would love to be popular with my music. I want people to know it and love it and, truly love it. I want to be playing shows and touring the world and, just living this life and creating opportunities for people, bigger opportunities, like big paying, awesome opportunities. So, those are my big goals.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so would you say you're like a spiritual person? Okay. Are you into like, I think they're, what are they called? Like tarot cards?
I do like tarot card readings.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually not like I'm not too familiar with that. But I know someone who's like she's big on that and like psychics and stuff. I haven't been exposed to that enough to where I know a lot about that. But so you feel like that contributes to your music as well?
Well, that's really cool that you bring up tarot card readings. I've had people who do them as vendors for like Arts Underground events, and like I love including those kinds of things. I've actually only had one reading ever in my whole life, so I don't know too much either. Okay. But I'm really, really open to everything. I'm a spiritual person, but I'm a very open person, very open-minded about, different religions and different beliefs. My mom definitely raised me that way, to be very, very open and understanding. So, and didn't really raise me under a certain religion, so I didn't learn one thing growing up, although a good amount of people in my family are Christian, so I did learn those teachings definitely more. But I just care about being a good person and being there for others, and I really want to learn more, so I'm in the process of learning. I would say, about my spirituality, but I feel very, very connected to others and just in a positive way. So
I like that. So what advice would you give to someone else who's either well, so another creative who's like just kind of a little lost, or they just need that motivation, what would you kind of say to them?
I would say to another creative who is needing some inspiration or feeling lost, to either go within themselves, or actually I would say to do both. To go within themselves and do some brainstorming, whatever way you need to, whether it's like clicking the voice memo on your phone and turning it on, just talking, or by yourself, or writing, getting paper in front of you, or painting, or creating a visual, art type of situation. But whatever way you can basically get out what's inside of you, I would really do that. Brainstorm, ask yourself questions like, what do I want to be? Big ones. Like, what do I want to achieve? Who do I want to be around? And kind of talk about those things with yourself. And then also go out to events. Like I was saying before, that's the best way to gain inspiration. I feel, is truly to go out to something and see someone else in their own element. You'll just automatically feel like dancing. Like I go out and I see dancers up on stage and I'm like, I could do that. Goes back home like practicing like moves I saw, like, come on. So yeah, go out to events if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like confused, or like you don't have any inspiration. Go out and see somebody else doing what they love. There's like nothing more inspiring than that. I
agree. And because one of the things that I was kind of excited that I did was called the Bridgeside Cypher. I forget when I think it was February. It was like the beginning of February. But yeah, that was a new experience, because like I'd seen it before and I was like, I gotta go, like I have to go to this, and that was just kind of great to be there. And then like they also had the art there as well, which that's a dope thing.
Yes. But yeah, shout out to Bridgeside Cypher, truly doing an awesome thing for the community. Respect. And for real, so cool.
So letters to self. You kind of touched on it a little bit, like,
yes.
So how did that kind of come together, or what was like when you had the idea to say, okay, like I want to do this EP, if that was like the process, like what was it kind of getting yourself in that zone?
So, shout out to my auntie Jen. She got me this big project planner. It was so nice. And like, again, I'm a Virgo. I'm really about the like organizational, especially with the written situations. Like I'm like, if it's organized, I had like little like graphic design, like plans, and just everything was really nice in there. There was schedules and blueprints and in this little project planner. So that was pretty much how I planned and executed the EP release. I definitely wouldn't have been able to do it without it. So shout out to my project planner. For real, like get you a project planner.
Yeah, they help. They really do.
It was everything. So yes, I decided I was going to do a EP album. I wasn't really sure. I thought maybe I'll release 2 EPs and one like as one project and drop one this date and drop the other this date, or I had all these different ideas, right? So it kind of came out to the end as like what was feasible and made sense. But with the EP, I really just wanted to, because I had a lot of songs that I had already been performing out. Songs that were actually older than the ones that I released, that I really wanted to just release them. Like people really liked the songs. I was kind of over performing them live, I guess. Let me just be honest. Yeah. And I wanted to release them. I wanted to have them out there, and then here you guys go. Yeah. But with this first project, I just really wanted it to be a EP about self-love and motivation and growth, and able to really inspire others and show them that that's what I want to do with my music. So I released the EP. Let me actually, I bet I have it here. This helps me to remember what I'm doing.
She has CDs. If you ever go to an event where she is at, she has CDs. I have one actually that you signed, yes. And I love it because I'm gonna keep it. I want to collect them.
You're the best. This one's for you too.
It is?
Yes. I'm grateful to you for having me on the show.
Of course. I as soon as I saw you, I was like, yeah, I gotta. But continue. Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah. So with the EP, I knew I wanted the name to be Letters to Self. I chose all the songs that, fit that description and work together, but I didn't necessarily write the songs as a project that would, it wasn't like I was writing songs for the project.
Right.
It was like I wrote the songs and then I put them together into this project.
Gotcha.
Vibe was actually the only one that I wrote for the project. The last song, Vibe. That one, I was already, in the zone of all the positive things that I had been recording about, and I recorded that one within the time span of recording the EP, so that was kind of thrown on at the end, which was pretty cool. But yeah, with Lesson, I just wanted to touch on family difficulties and making sure to be open with one another and explain when something's really difficult and talk about it and not like leave things under the cover. I feel like a lot of time with family that will happen.
Yeah.
And then Blaze Up was just kind of the fun song. I'm talking about obviously not giving in to anybody who's like throwing shade at you or like trying to bring you down, just talking about like always working hard and not worrying about what other people are caring or what saying about you, and smoking up. And High Like This is definitely the most played track. Everybody really likes it. It's really hype, and it's the only song that I am rapping on the EP, so I think that's another part of what makes it really fun for me. So I genuinely I feel like I'll forever always want to perform High Like This. I feel like I'll never not want to perform that song. But yeah, I feel like everybody knows what High Like This about. Just, being yourself and loving your life and performing, doing what I love to do the most. And then Handle It. So that's actually a really interesting little story here, because Red Shades is the only feature on my EP. And the reason for that is because I went to her EP release show for Chillin' in the Shade, and that was, I believe, in May or maybe a little bit earlier than that of 2019. But I kid you not, that was the event that inspired me to create this EP.
Wow.
I have been performing for a little while, and actually, I've been performing for a while, but performing my original music for a little while. I had been, working with different cover bands and stuff for a long time, so music had been in my life for a while, but I just wasn't aware of, I had never seen an original local artist put on such an amazing event for their own project. Like, I had never been a part of something that cool. So to just be there and see, like, her dad at the merch table and, like, all these cool people. Yeah. They're so awesome. Like, they're, like, the dopest team.
I didn't even know that was her dad.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah. You know, just to see that that's possible, like her friends, like working the food table, like, and not just that too, people in the community, like Kateria from Exposed TV was the host, and like C4 and KLAO were performing for the event. Like, just to see someone, an artist who I admired, bringing together all these people from the community, bringing together their family to put on this event for their own music and have such a great turnout and just be so cool. Like, that was so inspiring to me. And that was really like the inspiration that caused me to see this thing was possible. Like, it was possible for me to come out with an EP, and it was possible for me to put on my own show, and I ended up doing that, having a release party at the Mad Music Mill.
Yep. Shout out Mad Music Mill.
Shout out. They're so amazing. Kasia and Adonis and Linnell, like all of them. Oh my gosh. So, you know, it's just so cool to, that's why I say going out to events is really everything, because if I hadn't gone out to that event, who, you know,
that might not even be here.
I don't even know. Like, if I hadn't gone out to that event, I don't even know. I'm sure I would have gone out to another event that would have inspired me, but you know what I mean? Like, that was like such a gigantic inspiration for me. So, and people aren't having EP release shows all the time. Like, those don't, you know, happen all the time. They're kind of rare. So it's really special. Yeah. I kind of forget the question now, but I was honestly explaining all the songs on my EP. So yes, Handle It. So that's the reason why Red Shades was the only feature on the EP. She truly inspired this EP, and I'm so grateful for that. So I knew I knew that I wanted her on the song Handle It. I was really nervous to ask her, and it took me a very long time, like a couple months.
That's real. That's so real.
And when I finally asked her, she was like excited. And it blew my I'm like, you're excited? Like, what? I've been like nervous like the past week. Like, you should have seen me. Like, I was having anxiety. I'm like, the worst thing she can say is no. The worst thing she can say is no. Okay, just send it. You know, so it was an honor to have her not only be so happy to be a part of the project, but, you know, perform for my EP release show, and then asked me to do a song with her. So we recorded her song Come Here Little Baby, which is out on all streaming platforms right now.
It's a bop. Go check it out.
It's a bop. It's so dope. Red came up with all the parts and pretty much just brought me through. Like, that is so incredible to have, you know, the skills are real. Like, the talent is real. For her to be able to come up with all those singing parts too, for me. And then, you know, I came up with a couple like little harmonizing things, but the whole idea was her, and it was just a really awesome session and very unique from anyone that I had ever done before for Come Here Little Baby. But yeah, Handle It came together really, really nicely, and Handle It, I feel, really encompasses the whole record, the whole EP, because it's just that full on, like, you know, from the beginning I'm like, wake up, it's almost noon. Like, you're lying here thinking about things that are just gonna bring you down and put you in a negative space and keep you spiraling. I get into that space, you know, so it's really powerful. Like, I will play that song when I'm doing that to myself, because I do that to myself sometimes, especially when you get overwhelmed. I just will get so in my head and just keep spiraling downward, and it's like, how am I gonna get out of this? Like, I can't keep thinking about these negative things, or I'm just gonna stay here. So it's just about, you know, understanding no matter what you're going through in this life, like, you're built for this. So yeah, I'm really happy that this whole EP came together the way it did, and so happy to have these songs out to share with others. And you know, everybody who's a part of it, I have all their names on the back of the CD, but I'm so grateful to all of them, and it's just been really fun since. Been selling a lot of CDs.
Yeah.
I got some t-shirts now. So, you know, working my way up. It's really awesome.
Yeah, I really love that. And the fact that like seeing you perform, and like especially for like high like this, you get the crowd into it too, you know what I mean? Like I feel like that's something that is, it's important, you know, because fun. I'm like the first time I heard it, I'm like, okay, like I don't know the words, but she's saying nothing can beat a high like that, like that's all you got to do is like call and response, you know what I mean? And then, like that gets like people hyped and stuff, like it gets them more involved. So I appreciate you for doing that. Like I definitely think that's a very important element in terms of performing and like having songs where you can have that call and response with people.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's a dope project. I'm glad I got a CD, you know, and I'm glad I got to kind of.
Me too.
I'm glad I've been a part of your journey. Well, as far as I've been right now, but like I really can't wait to see where this takes you. And
thank you.
Arts Underground, of course. Arts Underground is that like do you have like a plan for that, like coming back in the summer, or like?
Yes, I do. It's definitely gonna be coming back soon. I'm not ready to disclose.
Oh yeah. I get it. You know, yeah. You gotta hold on to that, you know, and then when it's when it's ready, it's ready.
Yes,
I feel that.
But I'm really excited to share that with everybody. So yes, the All Arts Showcase will be back. Please, you know, keep up with the pages on Instagram, and I'll definitely be sharing that information soon.
Nice. So where can people find you?
You can find me on my website, evadavenportmusic.com. That's the most cultivated area on the internet of you know, photos and videos, and my music and my full schedule of performances is on my website. And then you can also check my Instagram page. I've got a link right in my bio that will bring you to a bunch of interviews, all the upcoming shows. Even if you're interested in booking for the Jungle, I also have a link on that. So everything's pretty accessible, which is good. And yeah, so you can check me out on Instagram at Lyrics by Eva, and yeah, I have everything. I've got Facebook, Eva Davenport Music. I post a lot on my Facebook page, and I believe that my events are up to date on there, as well as the website. And Twitter I have, but I don't really use very much. And I think that's everything.
Perfect. Again, thank you for you know, taking the time to come out here and sit down and have this conversation.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate you because of like seeing what you do, like in terms of the music and then like the whole Arts Underground. Like I said, like I really think that's an amazing thing to kind of have or give artists that platform to kind of showcase their stuff, you know. So
thank you. Yeah, it's definitely a give and take type of situation. You know, it takes a lot, like, but also the give back is so overwhelmingly amazing that it's so worth it, you know. So I really appreciate you having me on this podcast. Of course. I'm so excited for you to, you know, continue your growth as well. And I'm just so great, you know. It's so like, it just like makes me smile so huge every time I see you in the audience at a show, you know. So I'm just so grateful to have seen you repeatedly at shows, and the support and the love is real, and that just means the world. So thank you for, you know, looking to me as someone to learn from. And same here. For real.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. Dawn Talk Podcast on Instagram. Make sure you check it out. Tune in. Make sure you check out Eva's content. Like I said, she's super dope. She can sing. Oh my goodness. But yeah, thank you guys again.
Thank you.
Word.